Welcome. Today we'll be talking about how to freshen up with dementia, a guide to grooming that's easy to follow. My husband struggles to complete basic grooming tasks such as brushing teeth and combing hair. He has trouble with beginning these tasks and will frequently mix up steps. Any suggestions to help resolve this issue? We often do see challenges very similar to this, and I've got solutions for you. Fortunately, there are several simple techniques that can be implemented into a morning and nighttime routine to make the person with dementia more independent and therefore decreasing the level of assistance required of you, the care partner. To begin, in general, it is extremely beneficial to display a morning and nighttime routine in a visible area, such as a bathroom mirror, in a planner, whiteboard, or in common areas such as the bedside. This provides context and increases engagement in self care. Sample routines that can be used are provided as a handout in this lesson. In order to increase the engagement in grooming, I first want you to invite the person to join you in on the activity. You could say something like, "I'm going to brush my teeth. Would you like to join me?" Or, "Let's wash our faces before we have our breakfast." It's less intimidating for them when they have someone willing to help them. Next, I want you to demonstrate. Show and describe each step as you complete it, saying something like, "First, I'm going to open the tube of toothpaste. Next, I will hold the toothbrush with one hand and hold the tube of toothpaste in the other. Now, I'm going to place the toothpaste onto the toothbrush." Next, I want you to observe. Observe what about the activity is difficult for the person. You want to encourage independence by letting them complete as much of the task as possible on their own. When you observe, I want you to ask yourself some questions. Do they have trouble getting started on a task? Sometimes the person just needs a reminder of how to begin a task. Practice this with them as it increases repetition and permanent retention, which is still possible despite the cognitive impairment. Do they have trouble with remembering steps of a task? Post step-by-step directions in front of them for each activity if needed. And I know that creating instructions can be time-consuming, but I can guarantee that it will be well worth your while because in the long run, the person will be able to do it on their own versus depending on you for every step of the way. They may need verbal instructions or hand-over-hand assistance depending on their physical and cognitive capabilities. Do they have difficulty holding and moving objects in their hands? If they have decreased dexterity or fine motor skills, do they need adaptive equipment? You could use a piece of foam and place it around the handle of a toothbrush or hairbrush so that they have a good hold on it without straining their fingers. You could also use a rubber band and wrap it around the cap of the toothpaste. This material provides a gripping effect. If they struggle with holding the washcloth, you could use a facial brush with a thick handle. There are various options for every part of grooming when it comes to adaptive items to make it easier for the person. A simple Google search of adaptive equipment for grooming will pull up many options for you. I want you to also consider visual challenges. Label each item with bold lettering and a contrasting color as a background, as shown in the picture on the slide. Increase lighting in the area with the use of a spotlight or a table lamp. Use bright colored tape and place it on the water faucet knobs. Place only items needed on the countertop in visible sight. Keep placement of items in drawers consistent. This makes it easier for them to find the items. You could also label drawers on the outside to show them what items are going to be in it when they open it, to make it easier for them. In addition, it's important to consider before they dealt with memory loss, what else did they do as part of their routine? Did they put on makeup? Did they shave every other day? Try to implement those as part of their routine on a daily or weekly basis. Adding these to the daily routine handout that can be posted on their mirror in front of them is going to be beneficial. If they don't shave every day, for example, you may want to have 2 different morning routine handouts. So on days that when they do shave, it's stated on their list of that day's routine. Now, I briefly want to touch on nail care because it is such an important part of hygiene. For safety, I recommend assisting the person with this task as it is tedious and it can be difficult to hold the tools. However, there are several ways to allow the person more independence in this task. Always begin with demonstration first. Clearly describe in simple steps the task. You could also get an adaptive nail clipper. Have them clean under their own nails. Provide overhead lighting. If they like to have their nails painted, utilize that as a way to get them excited about participating in nail care. Saying something like, "Would you like a fresh manicure? I have some beautiful colors to choose from." Try implementing these tips and tricks for personal hygiene, even just one or two at a time, because I know they will be helpful for your loved one and for you. Although it is initially time consuming, I promise it will be rewarding for the both of you because of the meaningful engagement and increased independence they will experience. As always, please refer to the effective communication handout introduced in lesson 2, as this should be also considered when approaching the person to engage in these activities. Don't forget to check out the grooming routine handout that we have created for you. Thank you for the care you provide to your loved one and for taking the time to learn new strategies for successful care. We greatly appreciate all that you do.